Many people will drift in and out of your life, some influencing you more than others. For me, a mentor impacted me most. I've been a student for 9 years, and I have had numerous teachers, all working diligently with their classes and keeping a positive spirit throughout the year. However, none have impacted me as much as this teacher has. Of course, I have had many great teachers, all of them having different personalities and teaching styles. However, I wish to pay tribute to Madame Judy Massey, my 6th and 7th grade French teacher. Madame Massey is a fun and humorous person, an inspiration to everyone around her, and a dedicated teacher. Madame Massey always tried to incorporate fun into her daily lessons. One class near Christmas, we learned how to make bûche de Noël, a French Christmas cake. But it wasn't enough for Madame Massey to just tell us how to make the cake. She had to come in dressed as Julia Child and pretend to make the cake in class. She squawked at us in French as well, and we learned a lot, but we also got a good laugh. Another time, she had us do group skits. She had us get into groups of 3 or 4, and we had to design and act out a skit, all in French. We had a challenge to see who could make the funniest skit. Tim McDonald won. He dressed up as an ostrich. Another time, we were doing a unit on French foods, and Madame Massey told us that in order to fully appreciate French food, we had to eat it ourselves, not just to learn about it. So one day in class, she had us make crêpe and croque monsieur. The best was the crêpe, though, because we had a challenge to see who could flip their crêpe the highest. I didn't win, and neither did James Morrison, who tried to flip his like a lacrosse and ended up dropping his on the floor. We got a very good laugh, though. Madame Massey is also a very inspirational teacher. She taught us how to best be prepared for the future. She promised us at the beginning of the year we wouldn't receive very much homework, but she also told us that if we forgot our homework, we would have to get a detention. This prepared us for high school and even later on in life when we had a job, because people aren't always forgiving when you forget things. Also, she was always kind to anyone who broke the rules. Where some other teachers would just simply give someone a detention or a demerit, Madame Massey kindly addressed the problem and reprimanded the student, who would not do that again. Madame Massey also taught us proper etiquette for being in a French classroom. One day she came and told us jokingly that we were the most disgraceful excuses of French students she had ever seen. She told us how when your professor enters the room, you have to stand up and say, "Bonjour, madame," or "Bonjour, monsieur." We worked very hard to get that right one class, but we were inspired, and we got it right eventually. Madame Massey was also a very dedicated French teacher. This is perhaps one of my most favorite qualities about her. Whenever someone needed help, she would always be there to help them. One class, we were doing a unit on time, and we were all having a little bit of a problem when learning how to spell 15 minutes after. However, instead of just rushing on with her schedule and making sure we learned everything in the book, she kindly stopped and helped all of us learn how to spell it out. We were all very grateful for that. Another time, we were doing a unit on French verbs, the ER verbs, and we were grasping this concept really well. However, some of us were asking about the verb aller, which, even though we didn't know it at the time, is an irregular verb. Now, when we asked her, we knew that some teachers would say, "You don't need to know about that," or "Wait till next year when you need to know." But Madame Massey kindly and calmly told us how aller is an irregular verb, and how if we learned it right now, it would confuse us, and she explained that we would learn it later on. Another thing about Madame Massey is that whenever we came into class hyper, she wouldn't just tell us, "Okay, sit down, be quiet, we need to be prepared to learn." She kept teaching us no matter how irritated she was at us. I'm certain that we've all had many great teachers who have really impacted our lives. I hope you can see just how dedicated, inspirational, and how a kind person Madame Massey is. Madame Massey has been a strong influence on my life, and I know that all the students from our French class will carry the lessons that she taught with them forever.